I'm not good, right? I'm feeling very relaxed. It's totally different, because you can pee near the medical campus. It's just us. Most people do this. I'm good. So I don't know if they can. And then this is over at 12, right? It is. Oh, we gotta start. We gotta start. Okay, kids, come on up. You, really? Yes. Okay. The kid. Okay. Yes. Okay. How you guys doing? Good. You got this. I put it in a safe place. It's the old. You put what? The rabbi's microphone. Here you go. All right. So what am I going to say to you? Can everybody open up to Matovu first? 290. Everybody 290. Okay.
We are also excited for this morning. I even flew back from Scotland a little bit early so I could be here with you guys and see you succeed today and do your thing on the Bima and be very proud of you. So I know this is the first service where you're participating as part of a Shabbat morning, but it certainly won't be the last. This is just the beginning of many. And we're all excited and want you to take a deep breath. Your family's here, everyone here loves you. Don't be worried about anything. And we welcome you as well.
Everybody, take out your prayer book, please. Everybody take a prayer book. It's blue, and we're on page 290. And the students are going to lead us in Matovu. Standing up. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. V'ani berov chasdecha avo veitecha eshtachaveh el hichal kodsheha be'yiratecha. Everybody?
Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael.
Adonai ahavti me'on ve'itecha u'mekom mishkan kevodecha v'ani eshtachaveh be'echra ereha lifnei Adonai osi. Everybody?
Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov.
Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Va'ani tefilati leha, Adonai et ratzon, Elohim berov chazdecha, Haneni bemet yishecha. All right, blow us away, everybody.
Tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov,
Mishkenotecha Yisrael,
Ma tovu
ohalecha Yaakov,
ohalecha Yaakov,
Mishkenotecha Yisrael. 291. Holton, you go Rabbi's podium. You guys sit down. And Jamie, you're going to come up and speak after he reads.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom, you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware. We would lack the strength to sustain life before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei chol basar afli lasot.
Holden, you can sit down. Great job.
Okay. I'm using my notes on my phone, so when I was a young girl, my family lived in Lakewood. We spoke Hebrew in my house, and I was very much part of the Jewish community. My father was Jewish. My mother converted to Judaism in England in the 60s, which was very hard to do. And when she came here to the States, she actually knew a lot about the Jewish religion, more than my father's family. Unfortunately, they split when I was a young girl. And when my mom remarried, she remarried with someone who was not of the Jewish religion. So I grew up always having Judaism and another Catholic or Christian. When I found out that I was pregnant, I wanted my son to have an understanding of our Jewish faith, because I always considered myself Jewish, and his dad is Catholic, and I was very fortunate that his family blessed us. They allowed us to have a bris. It was their first introduction to the Jewish life.
What an introduction.
Yes. And it was, something that I was very thankful for. And then as Holton got older, I put him into nursery school at Temple B'nai Israel, is where he started. He's been in Hebrew school since 3. And I really look forward to his process. And I'm very proud of you for all that you do, and the fact that I'm able to pass this on to you. Thank you.
Jamie, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you set the bar very high, I gotta say. Okay.
Thank you. That was really beautiful. We turn to page 292 in our prayer book. The soul that you have given me, O God, is pure. You created it and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as I have breath, therefore, I will give thanks to you, my God and God of all ages, source of all being, loving guide of every human spirit. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biado nefesh kol chai. v'ruach kol besar ish. We continue with the Nisim B'chol Yom, the blessings for every day.
Page 293. Stand up. Baruch atah
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the blind the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives his rest to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes and slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in his image of God. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who hallows us with mitzvah, commanding us to engage with words of Torah.
We are on page 297.
Adonai, our God, makes the words of your Torah sweet to us in the house of Israel, your people, that we and our children may be believers of your name and students of your Torah. We praise you, O God, teacher of the Torah to our people. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael.
We are on page 298.
These are things that are limitless, which a people enjoy the fruit of the world, while the visible remains in the world to come. They are utterly one father and brother, engaging in deeds of compassion around the earth, study morning and evening, dealing graceless with guests, losing the sick, heartfully writing for a wedding couple, accomplishing the dead, the burial, sweet, devoted praise, and making peace among people. But the Torah encompasses them all.
Hang on. That was amazing. And now we call your parents to come on up. Jay, did you have your bar mitzvah here?
I did.
All right. We have two families today who are a three-generation family.
Good morning to everyone. I can't believe I have to follow that. I'm sorry. We were asked to come up with a special moment of my bar mitzvah experience, which happened on this very stage by Rabbi Presand. And all I can tell you is that I remember every second of that day. The service, the nervousness. I even wore the wrong jacket for pre-bar mitzvah pictures. The service, looking out into the crowd of all the loved ones. Also the sense of amazing relief when the service was over and it was time to party. At that point in my life, it was one of my greatest days, not because of the gifts and the really great party, but it bonded me with my family and everyone that came before me. And now to first watch our nephew, then our daughter get bat mitzvahed, and to watch our son Cooper go through the same rite of passage at the same temple makes it so much more special. My only advice to everyone embarking on this process is to work hard. You are in great hands with the cantor and Rabbi and Magda. When the service is over, take the time to enjoy the day and be thankful for the people that got you through it, especially your parents, and recognize that you are now bonded to something bigger than you can ever imagine. Good luck to everyone.
Cooper, that was incredible. We had no idea what to expect of you today, or ever, but you never cease to surprise us and amaze us, so
Thank you.
thanks for working so hard, buddy. And remember, more to come. Yeah. So now we're going to continue on page 301. Stand up. Thank you. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Baruch hu. Baruch oseh v'reshit. Baruch omer ve'oseh. Baruch gozer u'mekayim. Baruch mirahim al ha'aretz. Baruch mirahim al ha'briot. Baruch mishalim zachar tov li'reah. Baruch chai la'ad v'kayam la'netzach. Baruch hodeh u'matzil. Baruch Shemo. We remain standing and ask the congregation to rise and continue on page 313. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uborei hoshech osei shalom uborei etach. We remain standing and we go to page 314 and Holton, you read.
The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcome than gold. A Torah from heaven. I have no light to give in the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Hamorot.
We continue on page 317.
Sorry. O God, inspiration and all guide for all. You have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear, in every land and every age. Your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways, and yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity.
We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel, and joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life we would turn to you and find purpose.
And their passion for righteousness, may the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth.
Baruch
Atah Adonai, Habocher Amo Yisrael B'Ahava.
Please be seated. Brian and Jenna, or just Jenna, whomever's coming in. Whoever's been appointed.
I too wrote a little something on my phone, so bear with me. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm Jenna Yusatin, Oliver's mom. So my bat mitzvah was June 15, 1990-something. I wore a big white poofy dress with sleeves to match the giant hair at the time. I actually still have my bat mitzvah dress. It's hanging in my closet. And I like to, look at it, remember the day, excuse me. And actually my daughter has worn it for dress up. And I actually still have my bat mitzvah shirt, which I wanted to bring and show everybody. It's paper thin, it's been washed millions of times, but it's really, really special to me to remember that day. Growing up, I always knew I was going to have a bat mitzvah. It was just something that we did. I grew up in a large Jewish community, and I watched my brother do it, and all of my friends, and all of his friends. I went to Hebrew school from a young age, and that was what we were working towards. My brother had his bar mitzvah, and I knew I was next. I was also the first girl in my family to be called to the bima to become a bat mitzvah, so it was a very, very big deal for my family. The problem was I was a quiet, shy kid. Certainly did not possess the confidence that my children seem to have at this age. So they clearly did not get it from me. I was deathly afraid of speaking in public, especially singing. Like debilitating, like stomach would hurt, face would get red, heart palpitations. But I pushed through, and I studied hard with my cantor and rabbi, because I knew it was really something that I wanted to do. June 15th came, and it was my turn. I have vivid memories of finishing that last Hebrew word of my Haftorah portion and looking up and seeing my parents smiling from ear to ear. My grandparents were there, my aunts, my uncles, and all of my friends, my brother and my sisters, and how the look on their faces and how much pride they had. And it just made it all worth it. I knew at that point I was part of something bigger, and I had a responsibility to continue to honor my Jewish heritage. Going through that process gave me the confidence and a belief that I can do hard things. It set off a trajectory of auditioning for plays, musicals, and pushing myself to speak more in public. So just wanted to impart that on all of you, that you can do hard things, and it is worth it. So Oliver, Daddy, Ava, Theo, and I are so excited for you to embark on this journey and to become a bar mitzvah, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Beautiful. Thank you. What does your t-shirt say?
So the theme of my bar mitzvah was Jenna's comic relief. I really, yes. I'm obsessed with Archie comics, and those are all my friends that came to my bar mitzvah.
Oh, which means her friends RSVP'd in time. Or just putting it out there, how polite they were. So we're going to continue on page 318, and please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Will only the congregation please be seated? Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, V'hayu admarim ha'ela asher Anohi mitzaveha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech u'shokbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, u'tatam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha. Leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzotai, vitem kiddushim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeiti etem meretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. We're on page 321. Josh, you go ahead over. Everybody sit down.
Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of the world redeemed, the song of peace.
Sally and Brian.
Good morning. Congratulations to all of you guys as you embark on your bar mitzvah journeys. We are so happy and proud and excited to be standing here today, Joshua, as you embark on your bar mitzvah journey. Mommy and I have enjoyed every minute watching and listening to you as you prepare to be called up to the bima, to chant the Haftarah, read from the Torah, and become a bar mitzvah. We hope that you are enjoying this Jewish experience as much as we are, and want you to know how important your Jewish learning is, not only to your family, but to you yourself. Watching you prepare has provided Mommy and I with the wonderful opportunity to reflect on our own B'nai Mitzvah experiences and how meaningful and special the occasions were to us at that time, and how those experiences have remained with both of us until this day. As you know, Mommy shared her bat mitzvah with your Aunt Nikki at Temple B'nai Shalom in West Orange, while I became a bar mitzvah on this very same bima 34 years ago. I recall vividly meeting with Rabbi Presand every week in her office for my bar mitzvah lessons, just as you do with Cantor Clissold every Wednesday. I can still hear Nanny's voice in the kitchen as I studied and practiced my readings at the desk in the next room.
And the same memories come up for me when I think of this as well. The weekly practices are so important. Aunt Nikki and I prepared for our bat mitzvahs separately. We both learning with our rabbi at our temple and with one of our Jacob family friends coming to our home from Israel so we could learn the pronunciation of the Hebrew words more traditionally. It was not always easy. It was very difficult, but it was worth the effort. The memories from my bat mitzvah are still with me today, and they're so special. They're one of the best experiences of my Jewish life. And being Jewish is so meaningful to our family and to Daddy and I, and hopefully to you. And Daddy and I, of course, love hearing your voice when you're learning and studying as well at home.
Not only will you never forget your bar mitzvah day, but you will never forget the journey to get there. Our wish for you is that whatever it is that you dream of doing in life, that you will be guided by your Jewish spirituality. Your bar mitzvah is a huge step in heading in that direction. We love you. We are so proud of you. We are honored to be on this journey with you, and we are so excited for your bar mitzvah next March.
That was terrific. I think it bodes well for our temple's history that two parents came back to our synagogue and their kids are becoming B'nai Mitzvah. That's That's a good track record. We're going to continue. And Brian, I also remember your mom so well, and I remember the house you grew up in, and I can picture the layout of her in the kitchen and you studying. Because I went to their house once. We're on page 322, and we ask our sixth grade to please rise and lead us in our song of freedom. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilo osef ele, shira chadasha shibehu geulim, leshimcha asifat hayam, Yachad kulam hodu vehim lichu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. We're on page 323. Please rise.
On the top of page 323, we find the words tefillah. Tefillah means prayer. And this prayer on Shabbat begins with 3 sections. In every day, there are 18 other prayers added for all different things that we need to ask for to live a good life. But if you look on the first, on page 324, you see a section where we mention the names of our ancestors. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Ve'elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'elohei Leah. Elohei means God of. So it's God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Jacob. Why do you think that it says God of each one of our ancestors instead of saying Elohei Avraham, Ve'Yaakov, Ve'Yitzhak, instead of lumping them all together? What do you guys think it means that they each have a Velohei, God of? Any parents?
You mean because God is a part of everybody?
God is a part of everyone. Beautiful. And God has a different relationship with each of our ancestors and with each of us. So, for instance, God called to Abraham, and Abraham said, yeah, hineni, here I am. And God said, okay, you're going to leave your homeland, you're going to create monotheism, and people are going to follow you. And Abraham said, sure. And then there's Isaac, Abraham's second son, who was kind of a placeholder. The rabbis say that he created afternoon blessings because he would wander in the afternoon. So they gave him a little bit of something. And so this says, and by the time you become a bar or a bat mitzvah, you add your own name to this list in beginning to form a relationship with God, whatever you think God is. The beautiful thing about Reform Judaism is that we don't have to believe that God is this and does this and wants us to do this and makes us do this. We can believe that God is. And for me, God is a listening force, something bigger than I am. I don't believe that God makes people sick or that God makes people well. I don't believe that God changes anything that happens on earth, and people have been saying, oh, the earthquake, the floods, it's God. It's just the way that we responded to the earth and that we changed some things that probably shouldn't have been changed. But it's up to each and every one of you to find your way to God. And that's one of the things that we're going to do together through this process. And each of you will have your own opinion, and that opinion is important. So page 323.
As we go through this prayer, remember going to turn from page to page. Adonai
Sefatai tifta
uviagi tehilatecha.
Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaHanora, El Elyon, Gomer Hasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Haster Avot Imahot, U'mevii Gula Lifnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezra Tzara. We turn the page. Le'olam Adonai, Mechayev HaKol Atah, Rav LeHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'matir Asurim, U'mekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha B'Gevurot, U'midom Melach, Melech Memit U'Mechayeh, U'Masmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Atah L'Chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol.
We're on page 326 with our prayer of holiness, the Kedusha. We've practiced this as a class. Remember, we're going to rise up 3 times on the word holy. This prayer talks about how God is holy, but I think God already knows that God is holy. This prayer is to remind us to act more holy. And it's so important to be holy, which means to make life special and to be grateful, that we say that word holy 3 times. Because sometimes you do have to say something to somebody. Nobody in this room, of course, 3 times. So, but nobody here. So, preaching to the choir here. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, kagatuv al yad neviecha, mekara ze el ze ve'amar, kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Meloch ol haaretz kevodo. Adir, Adirenu Adonai, Adonenu Ma'adir Shimcha b'chol haaretz, Baruch kevod Adonai mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu vehu Yashmienu, berachamav le'nei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohayich Zion, le'dor v'dor. Hallelujah. Please be seated. We're on page 328.
From here. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat through the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth. On the 7th day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I am the mom of Jackson Latora, who just spoke. I did not come prepared like everyone. We had a crazy week. When I was born 41 years ago, my mom went into labor at 28 weeks. and she did not know that she was having twins. So when I came out in a blizzard, the doctor told her to keep pushing. There was another baby. And 6 minutes later, out came my twin brother. We were, born at 28 weeks, 2 pounds, really premature, and had a lot of difficulties. I had 2 collapsed lungs, my brother had a brain bleed, and we were transported from up in Edison at JFK to Monmouth Medical. That truly saved our lives. When my parents realized that we were both gonna make it, my dad said that when my children are of age, we are all going to Israel to get bar and bat mitzvah. So first we had my twin brother and I had our b'nai mitzvah on December 9th. And then a few weeks later, my whole family kept his promise, went to Israel, and my older sister, my brother and I were b'nai mitzvah at Masada, which was truly special. So when we all got married, my sister, my brother, and myself, my dad made a promise that he would like all of us to travel to Israel for as many of the grandchildren as of age could get bar and bat mitzvah. So our plan, Jackson's being bar mitzvahed this upcoming November, and my other son is 2 years younger. So the plan is for us to go to Israel the following December, a year from December, for all the grandkids that are of age to get bar and bat mitzvah at Masada. I'm the first person in our family to marry someone who isn't Jewish. So for me, religion was really important. And when I met my husband, I told him that this was take it or leave it. I'd like to raise a family Jewish. And for him, he grew up Roman Catholic, it was more important for him to have our children be raised in some sort of religion than nothing. Because I feel like nowadays so many people, if you marry out of your religion or whatever, just don't value religion like we used to. So I think this will be by then it will be my husband's 3rd bar mitzvah when we have Jackson's, but his whole family has been super accepting of the Jewish faith and very into it, which makes me really pleased. So we're super excited for Jackson. Jackson's faced a lot of adversities with medical issues. We were just in California Wednesday to Thursday. We've been traveling to California for 4 years every other month. He's just got a slew of things. So we're super proud of him and his resiliency. So we're looking forward to it. Thanks.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
I didn't know you were a twin. I won't tell your brother that when I meet him. Amazing how many twins there are. So we have 2 twin moms here, right? Marilyn and Chantal, right? They're not twins?
Oh, they're twins.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's what I meant.
I'm one too.
And, you, 3 twin moms. That's right, 3 twin moms. All right, so I don't know how twin moms do it. I gotta be honest with you.
Retired.
Right. We're on page 329, and we ask our class to lead us in Yismachu. Yismachu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, korei oneg Shabbat. Yismachu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, mekadeshei shevi Shabbat, kulam yispehu v'yitangu mituvecha. Everybody? Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, חמדת ימים, אותו קראת שבת. Everybody? ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. זכר למעשה בראשית שבת, זכר למעשה בראשית שבת. Everybody? ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. Everybody can sit down. We're on page 330. Aaron, do you remember if your doctor taking care of you as a baby was Dr. Kirby Reckadol?
Don't, but my parents definitely would.
Because he was head of the NICU when you were born at Monmouth Medical, and he's a member of our congregation.
We're all there, so
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
probably. My
Yeah.
parents do keep in touch with a few of the nurses.
Yeah, because he's a member of our temple.
You'll have to remind me.
I know, we're going to try to connect you. All right, we're going to be on page 330 with Holton leading us.
On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our praise, help us to hear your call. Grant us enough health to fulfill our duties, and teach the compassion we need to attend others. Teach us humility that we may receive as our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true of our highest selves, and give the charity to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha be'yira na'avod.
We are on page 332.
For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. For this fragile planet Earth, in times and tides, its sunsets and seasons. Jackson.
For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements.
Everybody?
Modim anachnu lach.
For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression.
Modim anachnu lach.
Keep where you're going.
For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared.
Modim anachnu lach.
For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom.
Modim anachnu lach.
For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose.
Modim anachnu lach.
We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulcha na'eh lehadot.
So that's the part the parents will read when your child becomes bar bat mitzvah. And usually, if there's two parents, they alternate. And that's, so that whole section that was led by Cooper and Jackson and Mrs. Butel, that's one of the things you guys do, parents. So we're just putting you in the know. So we're on page 334, and the class is going to stand up and lead us in a song of peace.
You can stand up.
And one person listens great. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, barcheinu avinu kulanu kechad, be'or panecha. Ki or panecha natata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Everybody? Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, Torat chayim, ve'ahavat chesed, ve'achavat chesed, Utzedaka uvracha v'rachamim v'chayim v'shalom. Everybody? Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. And we're just going to conclude with our song of peace on page 337. And I think you guys know this one by heart, and there's a clapping part, so I'm going to have you put your books down on your chair. Oseh shalom bimramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Beautiful. Everybody, go sit with your amazing parents. Marilyn, you can hang out with us up here or go in the car, whatever you want to do.
Each and every one of you did a magnificent job, and I cannot wait to stand beside you as you become bar and bat mitzvah. The cantor and I are here to support you fully, and I promise you, if you ever get stuck on a word, just kick me, and I'll tell you, or if you don't want to do a prayer, I shouldn't tell you this, cantor, you can say, we join together, and everyone will join together.
It's amazing what they teach here in rabbinical school.
We just want you to know that you're totally supported up here and that each and every one of you is going to do a magnificent job because of your magnificent self. So we're proud of you, really proud and really excited.
We're going to keep walking you through some things, but I want to make a little bit of a service announcement. I'm very much, obviously, on the implementation end of becoming bar bat mitzvah, okay? So the first thing I want to say is that your kids are amazing, and they did a beautiful job. And that you are here today is a testament to how important Judaism is to your family. And so what I'm going to encourage you to do, though, is to understand that you need to be here more. You need to be here more as a family on a Friday night or Saturday morning, sitting with your kid when we leave the services. So I'm going to ask you all to take a picture of this Post-it when the service is over. These are all the upcoming Saturday morning services for the rest of the year when children are becoming bar bat mitzvah at our synagogue. I cannot express to you the anxiety that children are feeling because they don't attend services very often And it's basically like they're going to have to play the World Series and they've never been to a baseball game. It is that dramatic a disconnect. And so I encourage you to do everything you can to come to the services on our post-it. So I'll give you that. The second thing I want to remind you is, and I don't think I have to remind this class of it, but remember, you invite the whole class to your bar or bat mitzvah, okay? It doesn't really matter if you love the person or not. This is about being part of a holy community, okay? And acting in a holy manner. So remember, guys, when your mom and dad put together the invitations and they invite the whole class, they're doing the right thing, okay? And then third of all, I want to remind you, it doesn't matter on all these Saturdays if you are friends with the family or invited to the bar bat mitzvah. It's a congregational service that happens to have a bar bat mitzvah on Saturday morning, open to everyone. So please remember that that is your right to be there. And if you do that, and you bring your kids to religious school, and you let us teach them, we're going to impart as much as they can absorb. And that's all we want to do, is just do what every child's threshold is. And that's all our goal is. And we do that with your help. You're our partners. So that's end of my speech. And I only want to say that when Magda first came to our temple, and we had this 6th grade service, she said she added in the idea that parents would come and speak. That was her innovation. And I have to tell you, it is the most wonderful innovation for all of us to hear everybody's story. I mean, like...
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And Magda, thank you for bringing that to our congregation, because that was truly something that we were missing, besides not having you before that. But, but once we had you, that was just one of the many things. So I really thank you for that.
And I think for a lot of you, it's the first time you've ever heard your parents' story, and maybe in a different way, and you get to hear other people's stories and what they took from becoming a bar bat mitzvah. So we don't have a bar bat mitzvah. It's not a date on the calendar, and we come up and we have it, we become it. And then we step into continued learning. So it's a change of status in the Jewish community. Traditionally, when one became a bar or bat mitzvah, it meant a long time ago that they would leave their family home and get married and start having kids and having jobs. We don't do that anymore, thank God. But it is an opportunity for you to become more of your own Jew. And we ask you to try on some of the mitzvot to see how they feel. And then try to make them fit your life. There are certain things that I have tried on, and you go into any place and get a suit and have it tailored and shortened and fixed a little bit, and you try to make it fit. And then it does fit. And I've done the same thing with mitzvot in my life. Certain things that are written a certain way, and try them on, like making full Shabbat dinner every week, and then running to services and doing services, and then trying to have a day of peace when we're leading services is a little bit impossible. So, we've took in another day for Shabbat.
We've made peace with that.
Yeah, we've made peace with that. Or, when I was growing up, my parents we'd go to the baseball game every Friday night.
They're Red Sox fans,
Red
right?
Sox fans, rabid Red Sox fans. But every 6 weeks we go to services. So we would take everything to the Red Sox game, travel candlesticks. We'd have beer to make kiddush, and Fenway Frank bun to make motzi, and everyone in the area around us. And we sat in the same seats for over 50 years.
Is Fenway the Green Monster?
It is the Green Monster.
All right, okay.
So everyone around us, and we were right next to the dugout, would say the prayers. And then, we would hear sometimes amen from the dugout, which was lovely. And then they could play ball as soon as we finished saying the blessings. So, you try things on and you fit and you make wonderful memories. So we're going to turn to the service for the reading of Torah. which can be found on page 366. And we invite everyone to please rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shema. So Rabbi's going to take the Torah around, but when you're bar bat mitzvah, you're going to take the Torah around. So you're going to all partake in that. And if you want, you can touch the Torah and then kiss your hand. Lecha Adonai Hagedura, Hagedura, V'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'havod. Ki ho b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, ki ho b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai amalacha, ani na'aseh lecha l'rosh. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, halam halam amei. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, halam halam amei.
You can use your fingers.
Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al yemilut hasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al yemilut hasadim. Ha'erinenu b'toratecha v'dabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha ve'yachid levaveinu le'ahava u'yirah et shemecha.
So I just want to let you know that there are 52 portions in the Torah. 54, sorry. And you will each be getting your own Torah portion. And the Torah portion that you get will be one that has at least one interesting thing in it, I promise you. And we'll have a time to get together and get to know each other and study your portion and choose something that you think is important to teach the congregation. What you write are not my words. I may put a comma in here and there, or may say, let's change the grammar of the sentence. But the rest of it is completely you. And you have the opportunity to teach the congregation how you see Torah. So this week's Torah portion is called by many people one of the worst. It's Tazria. It's found on page 826, and it talks about skin inflammation and leprosy and yucky stuff. But if you really read about it, you'll see that these skin diseases and dermatological things that happen to someone are because they acted in a not so moral manner. An example of which is Miriam, Moses' sister, and Aaron, who gossiped about Moses' wife, Zipporah, who was Cushite, which means that she had dark skin. And as soon as they started gossiping about her, Miriam turned white and her skin fell off, and they put her outside the camp. And the priest had to go keep checking on her and checking on her and checking on her until she was well enough to enter the camp again. So it's important to realize that some of the things that we think are so yucky in the Torah may have more meaning for us today. It's an interesting thought to think about, how we act in the world, and if we act in not such a loving and caring manner, that it would be interesting if, people who stole turned purple, or people who murdered turned green, and we could just see them and know exactly what they had done and what they had to atone for. And the Torah does this in a different way.
So when you become bar bat mitzvah, you're going to read from the Torah also. And I'll be right here, the rabbi will be right here, and you, the kid, will be right here, okay? And people will come up to do the blessing that the rabbi's going to lead us in. But if you want to help us, we're on page 368 with the Torah blessing. And then, did you have to say the page? Did you say that? I forget.
Yes.
Okay. So, but the Torah blessing is on 368.
And the Torah portion is on page 826.
And so that's another thing parents say, what will...
Right, in 2 different books.
Yeah, so the blessings in the blue book, the parshas in the red book. Right. That's also very important because you'll be learning out of 2 books. But parents, in addition to that, prayer that I told you was, you'll also be invited to do the Torah blessing before and after for your child. They'll also do it later on as well when they come to a different aliyah. But just for today, I'm only going to do 1 aliyah, but your child will be able to do up to 7. Okay.
And you'll have plenty of time to practice. We're not going to
Absolutely.
give it to you the day before or the week before. You're
We're
going
not-
to be on the bima practicing over and over and over again until you're comfortable. So during rehearsal, we dance up here. Get ready. Yay. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Ambarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bacha banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai notein ha'Torah.
Amen. Vayadaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael lemor. Isha ki tazriya v'yalda zachar tmima. Shivat yamim yemei nidat. Dotat meha. Uvayom hashmini yimol besar orlato. Ushloshim yom ushloshet yamim. Teshev bidmei Torah. Bechol kodesh lo tiga. Vel hamikdash lo tavo. Ahad melot yemei tehorah.
Blessing after. Join me. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Ata Adonai notein ha'Torah.
You're so good at that.
Oh, thank you. Please rise.
Okay, then I lift the Torah, and I always show 3 columns, and I make sure the little sewn up area is kind of in the middle. And then we dress the Torah, and if you have a little brother or sister, a little cousin or something like that, we're going to ask them to come up and help with that part. Your family is going to help plan that when they meet with the rabbi at the rehearsal. So we're going to dress that now.
And we'll find parts for everyone who you want to honor.
In Hebrew.
In Hebrew, in English, for Jewish family, for non-Jewish family.
Please be seated. So now, when you become bar or bat mitzvah, you're going to do the haftarah. So this is how you figure out what your haftarah is. You go to the red Torah commentary, and remember I said the haftarah, the Torah portion was on 826. So now we go. So go to 826. Okay, I'm going to show you how to use this book. You never knew. Okay, and 826 is the start of Tazria. Okay, then you have to go all the way to the end of Tazria. Someone had to teach me this, so I'm teaching you. And you go to page 838. And when you get to the top of 838, look in the left-hand corner and tell me what you see in little teeny words. Haftarah, Tazria, and then see it says page 991. That's how the rabbi and I know what your Haftarah is. So then I go to 991, and did anybody find it? So everybody go to 991, so make sure I do a good job, okay? What's so funny?
Jay said it's like a choose your own adventure.
Right. Especially if I give you the wrong one. No, I don't do that often.
So actually, the Haftarah, before we continue, during a time when Rabbi Akiba was rabbi, the king said that Jews could not study or chant Torah. And so what they did was choose a portion from the prophets or the kings, something that was later on in the Nachi part of it, the Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim, the Torah, prophets, and writings. So they took something from the prophets and the writings that had to do with the Torah portion that was either connected by the name of a person or a theme. And that's how they chose the Haftarah. And when it came time for us to be able to read Torah again, they kept both portions. So it's an additional portion. And you'll have the book with the letters and the vowels and the cantillation marks, and it won't be like looking at the Torah. Everything will be right there laid out for you.
Yeah, Haftarah is a little easier. But now the rabbi's going to lead us in the Haftarah blessings. We're all going to do them together. So go now so open that, don't close the red book, but go to the blue book to 372. All right, and I bet a lot of parents are going to remember this blessing as well. And maybe even a sibling will remember it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'bim tovim v'ratza b'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai Habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'nviei ha'emet b'tzedek. So now on page 991, remember the rabbi said there was going to be some connection between the Torah portion and the Haftarah portion. So this is a nice one where you can see it right away because you absolutely know what you're talking about. And on page 991, always, if you go down to where it says chapter 5, it says their man who was a great warrior was a leper. He had leprosy. And that is the connection to the Torah portion. So sometimes they are really out there. So unfortunately for all of you, I'm only going to do a little of this. I know you're very sad about that. But so I'm going to go to the top of the page. Ve'ish ba mi ba'al shalisha vayave leisha Elohim lahem bikurim esrim lechem sorim v'charmel v'tziklono vayomer ten lam ba'ochelu vayochelu vayomer misharto ma aten ze lifnei mea ish vayomer tein la'am vayochelu ki cho'amar Adonai achol vehoter vayitein lifneihem vayochlu vayitronu Kidvar Adonai. So that's just a little. And now parents are going to help us on 372 in the blue book with the blessing after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Sur kol haolamim Tzadik b'chol hadorot Ha'el hane'eman Ha'omer ve'oseh Hamdaber umkayem, shekol devarav emet v'tzedek, al haTorah, v'al ha'avodah, v'al ha'nevi'im, v'al yom ha'Shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'limnucha, lechavod ultifaret, al ha'kol, Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, Umevarchim otach, Yitbarach Shimcha, B'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. that's when the kid gives a big sigh of relief, and the rabbi tells them how fantastic they are, and then we take you, bar bat mitzvah, to the Torah, we bless you, and then and we say nice things about you.
But before that,
Oh,
you speak. You
your
give
speech.
Your
Speech.
Devar Torah, which means words of Torah, but it's your teaching.
Which the rabbi
it's-
you worked on for months.
Yeah, and it's basically 2.5 pages, 14 font, double spaced.
And everybody has been coming, after working with the rabbi, with beautiful, beautiful speeches. And so they've really been wonderful.
Well, you guys are so thoughtful, so.
I
I don't have to do anything, so I thank you for that.
No, they're well led. So we'd like to invite up Magda Reyes to impart some thoughts and wisdom. And while Magda's on the way up here, I would like to impart my gratitude to Marilyn Butel, who's an amazing partner. We teach together on Wednesdays, and she leads the kids with so much wisdom and compassion and love. Your kids are so lucky that she gives up her Wednesday to be your children's teacher. So, thank you, Marilyn.
Words of wisdom, huh?
Come on, you got a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I think
I
You're-
just want
you're
you to
wicked
know
smart.
my words of wisdom. They told me this like before the service started, so all these words of wisdom.
Oh,
happen.
yeah. Okay.
Anyway, Shabbat Shalom and Bruchim Habayim. Welcome. We're so happy to see you here. As you know, this was the last session of the series of the Bar Mitzvah preparation series. We started in the fall with a session on what does it mean to become a bar bat mitzvah, and we had the rabbi and the cantor talk, answer questions. We missed the January session, which would have broken down the service, but we kind of incorporated that today. So thank you for that, for explaining the service to us. We had a family program where we talked about the children's portions and how they are part of the Jewish story. So they don't exist in a vacuum. They're all connected. And then today we had the children lead the service, the Shabbat morning service. We had the cantor and the rabbi explain and have you participate, which was the most wonderful treat for the children, I am sure, for me, especially for all of us. So thank you. It takes a village, they say, and definitely what we do here in religious school, we rely on so many different people. So first, I would really love to thank all of our teachers. We have 4 teachers in 6th grade. Marilyn Butel, who's been with us for years, and she does an amazing job with the Hebrew. Gail Kaplan, who couldn't be here today, she came on in the middle of the year in January, and she's an amazing Hebrew teacher. And then our 2 Judaics teachers, Rabbi Leslie Berkson and Jeremy. How could I forget Jeremy? Mr. Kaplan, who actually is Gail Kaplan's son. So
And
we
also
have,
had his bar mitzvah here.
and he also had his, really? Okay. They just won't leave us. We can't get rid of them.
No, but the interesting thing about Jeremy is that he decided to have his bar mitzvah when he was older,
Oh.
which you can do. So
Okay.
he was a little further into his teens, which was fine. And he studied with Rabbi Prezanter last year.
Wonderful.
And it was his decision, and it was.
And
anyway,
now he's back.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like, it was always his decision. So it was good.
It's wonderful. So Judaics and Hebrew come together. They complement each other to in all the grades to develop the children's Jewish identity, to facilitate the Jewish learning. What can I say about Cantor and Rabbi? Cantor, thank you so much for preparing our 6th grade. And
Just the beginning.
Yasher Koach.
And yes, it's from now on into 7th grade. The children will be meeting with the cantor one-on-one to go over their portions. And Rabbi, thank you so much for going over the service and explaining everything. And you will be meeting with the children and the parents, I believe.
Yep, start
And
with the
same for the
family and then
cantor.
with the kids.
So you will start hearing from both of them as the year goes on and as the bar mitzvah gets closer. I want to thank you, the parents, because you do the heavy schlepping. You support us, you come to religious school, you have to balance all their other interests together with the demands of what we do here. And I just want you to know we so appreciate all of you for being here, for doing all of it, and for today, for being so open and honest and sharing your thoughts and your experiences with us. I think it's really valuable for the children to hear what the adults went through, and that it's not going to be all that much different once they are standing up here, because you guys were nervous too, and and last, my charge to you, to the 6th grade. Rabbi so beautifully explained Tazria, which is not always looked at as you said, the nicest portion in the Torah, but I think there is a lesson there. And I think the lesson is, when you make a mistake, take some time to go out and be by yourself and think about what happened. And then, as Tazria would have you do, bring an offering, make an apology, and then just resume your place in the community. Because when you become a bar and bat mitzvah, you take on responsibilities as an adult. And we all make mistakes, and there will be mistakes. And they shouldn't hold us back. We should look at them honestly, apologize if we need to, and move on and grow from them and be the better person. So thank you again. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Magda, that couldn't have been any more prepared.
Yep.
That was amazing. That was only 5 minutes. That's because you're not done with rabbinical school yet.
So before we get to our closing song, I just want to let you know that I'm doing a wedding tonight of a young woman whose bat mitzvah I officiated at, I think, 15, 20 years ago? I don't know, a very long time ago. But
That's
it's amazing
amazing.
to
That's
be able
amazing.
to stay in people's lives.
That's happening to you more and more, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's pretty cool. We're there at a regular Saturday morning service. We would have a few more prayers, but we thought we would hasten you along to a very traditional closing song on page 626, Ein Keloheinu, a song that a lot of us grew up singing at the end of the Saturday morning service, and so please join us. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Micheloheinu, Michadonenu, Michemalkeinu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Emalkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. And we're going to sing the motzi, so you can go straight in and eat. Magda brought you all bagels. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. And here's the Post-it. Everybody, come take a little picture of it.
You gonna stick it to you? The more you guys are able to come to services, the more you'll know the choreography and what comes next. And when parents speak to their kids, parents speak to their kids.
Old school. No school. Really? I really,